Be here on the desk alongside the Cy Young Award winner, World Series champion Jake Peavy, and the All-Star Alex Avila. I'm Adnan Burke. It's great to have you with us. We'll get to all the highlights and post-game reaction of a busy day in Major League Baseball, including what happened to the Blue Jays and the Mariners. But Alex, this is the time to just bow down and appreciate the greatness of Shohei Ohtani. There's nothing like it you're ever going to see again.
No, you definitely aren't. And I mean, when we were just watching this game in the bullpen and just seeing what he was doing, throughout the game from a pitching standpoint, the fact that, he had 3 home runs as well. Like it's almost indescribable. Like you come at a loss for words as far as like how to describe what you're seeing and what he's been able to do. I mean, the story for the Dodgers obviously was the starting pitching, throughout the series until Shohei showed up, added to that starting pitching, but then, topped it off with 3 home runs. I mean, it's truly remarkable. It really is.
Running out of things to say and words to describe what we're seeing. Nothing about it makes sense. I thought D-Row in the morning crew did a really nice job of flowing. Also, this guy hits 55 home runs. Also, this guy, is the most in Dodger history. Homers, the 50-50 season. To go out and do that on the offensive side of the ball, and then when you watch what me and Alex are watching and critiquing it at a very high level, he's just the best of the best. There's nothing else you can say. When the game's been around this long and we haven't seen anything like it, and we're making rules about him.
Yeah.
Remarkable.
In order to keep him in the game, when he comes out of the game, changing rules to make sure like we don't lose any one of his at bats. But I mean, it is. For guys like us that have been around the game for as long as we have and have dedicated our lives to it, to see what he does on a daily basis and how dominant he is from the pitching side, the offensive side. I mean, it's
Little League. It's what happens in Little League.
Yeah.
Once you get above Little League, this doesn't happen.
Yeah.
It's truly, he's playing Little League at the big league level.
And it's a fun conversation to say the greatest players of all time. Like, Pete, you've seen Barry Bonds. You've seen Roger Clemens.
He's just about almost that guy in the box.
Yeah.
When you're talking about setting Dodger record, this Dodger history's deep.
Yeah.
Talking Sean Green and Piazza and Eric Karros or some of the names I've faced. They never did what this guy did.
Yeah.
And then he's number 1 starter for anybody's team. You go put him on anybody's team, he's starting opening day next year.
Conversely, for the Milwaukee Brewers, I mean, they just ran into a buzzsaw, Alex. I mean, I feel for them. It's a great fan base. They love baseball there in Wisconsin. They thought this would be their best chance to get back to the World Series since 1982. Just couldn't score enough runs. I mean, 4 runs, that's it.
No, the issue with the Brewers this whole series was the offense. I thought, their pitching hung in there as kind of depleted as they were and how Murph had to kind of mix and match throughout the series between his starters and relievers and openers. They did a good job. They kind of did what they were supposed to do to keep themselves in the games. But, the Dodgers starting pitching and even their bullpen, you got to give credit to their bullpen too. The innings they did pitch, they came up big and pitched really well. They ran into a pitching staff that is firing on all cylinders. They're hot at the right time. They're healthy at the right time and executing as well as they have all season long. And, Murph said it best, a couple of days ago, they could bring out the worst in you. And when you're facing a team as talented as the Dodgers from a pitching perspective, they can make any good offensive team look like the Brewers, in 4 games. And it's a tough way to go out because, the Brewers, they had a tremendous season, 97 wins, and their offense was definitely not as bad as we saw in the last 4 games. And that's a tough pill to swallow.
The only time that we thought the Brewers had a chance in this 4 games that we watched were when one of the 4 starters that started the game were out of the game.
Yeah.
Now, at any point in time when these 4 starters were out there doing their thing, just as a baseball player, that wins. For the most part, you're not going to string together innings. You might can clip these guys, but you're not going to do it when they're executing at the level that they are.
The interesting part about it too, Adnan, is the fact that this Brewers lineup, is the type of lineup that you'd expect to have success in the playoffs because of their ability to work the count, make contact, not strike out, play athletic baseball, where, typically if you have a lineup that has mostly like kind of power hitters throughout, guys that swing and miss, those are the pitchable lineups, especially in the postseason. This lineup you would think would have a little bit more success, but the Dodgers, they just executed that well. And you had a couple guys for the Brewers just couldn't able to find any sort of rhythm. They weren't able to have that moment like we saw in the ALCS with Jimenez in Toronto to kind of get their offense rolling.
Yeah.
And that was kind of the name of the game for the Brewers this series.
One of the fears for the Brewers, Pete, was the fact they don't hit enough home runs. They hit one home run this series, Ohtani tonight.
Nobody was going to hit home runs. I hate
Nobody was
bringing it back to the pitching, but that is just what it is. We hear good pitching beats good hitting. That is what we've seen. And these guys are the best we have in the game. These 4 starters are all under monster contracts. This guy right here, $700 million. He should have got $1 billion. To do what this man is doing. And you can imagine what the country of Japan is thinking right now.
God.
And how proud they must be. And then watching their countrymen close it out. It's just truly remarkable. I feel bad for the Brewers because they look so overmatched, but again, that's what we thought kind of coming into the series.
Yeah, Ohtani and the Dodgers saying sayonara to the Milwaukee Brewers. Here's Freddie Freeman as we say hello alongside Lauren Shahadi.
Freddie, it never gets old, does it? How does a group full of super duper stars play so much for each other?
Oh, man, that was special. We've just been playing really good baseball for a while now, and the inevitable kind of happened today, Shohei. Oh, my God. I'm still speechless.
I watched you after that 3rd home run, and you mouthed the words, what the? Is he a human? Who is it there?
Sometimes you got to check yourself and touch him, make sure he's not just made of steel, but absolutely incredible. Biggest stage, and he goes out and does something like that. Something you would probably remember as a Shohei Ohtani game.
Yeah. Freddie, my favorite thing about you is you sit top step. You watch every out. Yeah. How spoiled are you by this staff?
Yeah, it's amazing. I think what was special is we were winning different ways every single night. Playing small ball, hitting the home run, pitching. Our starting pitching for about 7 weeks now has been absolutely incredible. So we're going to lean on him a little bit more for hopefully.
I mean, no one's ever won back-to-back World Series MVPs. What do you think? Yeah?
That does sound good, but as long as one of us wins it, that means we won the whole thing.
Enjoy it, Freddie. Congratulations.
Thank you, Lauren.
Freddie Freeman, always a class act out there, playing first base and doing what he can at the plate for this Dodgers team. In terms of recent back-to-back World Series champions, it's right. No team has gone back-to-back since that Yankee dynastic run of the late 90s and the 2000 Subway Series. Jays went back-to-back, 92-93. The Yankees of 77-78. The Big Red Machine, of course, the Oakland A's with all that star power back in the day of the 70s. I mean, listen, we're not quite there yet, but it's going to be awfully tough to slow down this Dodgers machine, Alex.
Yeah, I mean, they're firing on all cylinders. They're healthy. Their pitching's great. Their offense is coming up clutch in big situations. They're putting together great ABs. The other 2 teams duking it out in the American League side, I mean, they're good baseball teams too. So I think either one of those teams whoever comes out of that, it should be a really good World Series because I think both those teams do match up pretty well with the Dodgers. So it should be a good one. But I mean, right now it's hard not to see the Dodgers as the favorite.
The only way I think you can slow them down is maybe this break.
Yeah.
You know what? Tonight, when you sweep and you know this other series is going,
I know it all too well.
You know, at this game, though, you can celebrate, you tie on a pretty good one tonight in this celebration. These boys are going to do that, and rightfully so. But then they're going to have to sit for a little bit.
Yeah.
They're going to have some days off that we talk about. And the offense is not blazing hot. They've just, like you said, been clutch. And you have the homers from Ohtani tonight. But this pitching staff's going to be well rested, and I imagine they're going to give fits to whatever lineup. You got the Toronto team that can make a lot of contact versus them. And then Seattle, look, they're not going to go away, and they can really pitch, kind of match up with them. So see how it goes.
Mookie Betts had a quiet year much of the season. September on, he was much better in the playoffs. He was back to being more like Mookie. Here he is with our own Abby Labar.
Mookie, Shohei Ohtani, what are we witnessing with him right now?
Greatness. I mean, I said it multiple times. We're like the Bulls, and he's Michael Jordan. Whenever he goes, we're all going to go. And you see it today. And I'm just happy he's on our team.
When you take a look back at all of this and what you guys have been able to accomplish, what does this feel like right now?
Amazing. Obviously, we still got another series to play, so we can't get too far ahead of ourselves. But, it's special just to go back to back. I mean, it's special just to have this trip at least.
This is a good team that you guys face. They were really good during the regular season, so dominant, and you took care of them in 4 games. So just tell me, when did you guys know you were capable of accomplishing this?
The spring training, we knew we were capable of accomplishing the goal of winning another World Series. How we got there, you never know. You never really know.
Good news, Brewers. Now you face Shohei Ohtani on the mound today. So is Shohei going to wrap things up? I believe so, and it's tough sledding if you talk about the Brew Crew because we know that this man has overpowering stuff, especially the fastball, but he also has devastating secondary stuff as well. The curveball as well as the split finger, who he's starting to use a lot more. Only 5% in the regular season, but 10% against the Phillies. But we know the blazing fastball is going to play anywhere from 98 to 101. But the split finger, especially against the left-handed batter, that's a very important pitch, falling away from the left-handed batter. And now all of a sudden he's able to go north to south with that nasty, slow curveball. Also has the hard slider that he can throw anywhere from 88 to 90 miles an hour. So the ability to go east and west and north to south makes him very difficult to cover against some of the best hitters in all of baseball.
Well, the question is, what are they going to close it out? I mean, if you're the Milwaukee Brewers and you're down 3 games and you're facing the number 4 starter, usually you have a lot of confidence as an offense. You're facing Ohtani as the number 4 starter. That's a tough assignment.
Yeah.
You know, I hope that Milwaukee shows the world what made them so good. I mean, they had best record in the National League. They have a good team. They just run into a buzzsaw with the Los Angeles Dodgers. But I don't see it. I guess, you know, there's a chance. They said it never rains here. It rained all day the other day. So I guess there's a chance, but it's a tough uphill climb.
I tell you, man, you're a super nice guy, but it's kind of running a little late for them. I mean, facing Ohtani as a 4th starter, I heard John Small, Hall of Famer, one of the best pitchers I have ever seen, saying that Ohtani's stuff is one of the best he had ever seen. And coming from him, that's a big compliment, brother. And they haven't been able to score wrong against the guy that probably doesn't have the stuff that he has. So I think he's running a little too late. Hey, and by the way, guys, I think we're facing a dynasty. Watching these Dodgers doing it year after year after year.
But they got to do it first.
It kind of reminds me a little bit of what you guys did in the 90s.
I like that, Poppy. When you say dynasty, I mean, this is the total package. And what the Dodgers basically tell you is you pick the style, we'll pick the outcome. And if you want to slug, we can slug. If you want to scrap, if you want to, whatever you want to do, pitching style, run, you name it, they'll find a way to win. And by the way, when you watch them and the game is 1-1 in the 5th, everybody watches going, they're going to win that game. And as far as Ohtani, I mean, he's competing for the best pitcher in the game with Skubal, and he's pitching for the best hitter in the game, competing with the best hitter in the game with Aaron Judge.
Not too bad.
I mean, that's a unicorn.
Not too bad. It's interesting, too, with Ohtani, Dontrell. This was the plan, right?
Yes.
You know, he started off, he's pitching an inning, then he's pitching a couple innings. This was the plan to get him ready for this. The entire season, basically, they used to do it.
And I love what Dave Roberts did. They did not speed up his process because they were a little banged up. You know, they were trying to win a division. All of a sudden, the depth got better. Guys started getting healthier. They took pressure off that bullpen and starting pitching, it always starts on the mound and ends on the mound. If you have consistency there.
Joining us afterwards, but for now, Lauren Shahadi with a celebration for the ages.
Adam, thank you so much. Los Angeles, you ready to run it back or what? For the 2nd straight year, the National League pennant goes to the Los Angeles Dodgers. Congratulations. So many people instrumental in their success with us tonight on this podium. Owner Chairman Mark Walter, President of Baseball Operations Andrew Friedman, President and CEO Stan Kasten, General Manager, EVP, Brandon Gomes, and the man pulling all the right strings in the dugout nightly, Dave Roberts. The Warren C. Giles National League trophy belongs to you, Mark. Hold it up for all to see. Congratulations. Mark, you brought a winning brand of baseball to Los Angeles. What sets this group apart?
Well, I think first we need to thank and congratulate the Milwaukee Brewers. They had the best record in the National League, and they had a little bit of trouble this week, but they were a better team than they played today.
Congratulations to you, Andrew. I remember in spring, we all said this was the best team on paper ever assembled, but we know baseball doesn't always work that way. Why did this work so well?
I mean, these guys, to watch them prepare every day, how much they care about winning and representing these amazing fans. It was evident as we got going through the season that these guys had their eye on the ultimate prize, and that's to bring a championship back in back-to-back years to the greatest fans in all of baseball. Thank you.
Dave, you always talk about how this is an organization-wide success story. From scouting, player development, front office. How did the sum of the parts get you here, Dave?
Well, I think, as Andrew said, it starts with the passion, the knowledge, the care of the fans. And you guys set the bar for all of us. So thank you. This has been a great year. This has been a tough year. I got to give a lot of credit to these players, to the coaches, the support staff, scouts, everybody that's not here. This is a one team, one dream operation. And I'll tell you, before this season started, they said the Dodgers are ruining baseball. Let's get 4 more wins and really ruin baseball. Let's go.
You always talk about other people, but I think why we all love this great game is it takes us back to our childhood in the backyard. Mom, dad, sister, brother. What does Dodgers Stadium remind you of the people who got you here, Dave?
I mean, we had Bill Russell. We had Reggie Smith. You know, the great Tommy Lasorda is looking down on us right now. Fernando. And when you put this Dodger uniform on, there's something special. We all feel it. We all bleed blue. We got 4 more wins, though. We got a lot of work today to do. And as the great Kobe Bryant said, the job's not done.
And the presentation's not done. I think we need an NLCS MVP. What do you think? The National League Championship Series most valuable player goes to the best player on this planet, Shohei Ohtani. Congratulations. And his interpreter will. Shohei, congratulations. What's more fun, striking out 10 or hitting 3 home runs?
阪神で活躍するか、ホームランを打つか、3を打つか、どっちの方が楽しかったですか？どちらも最高の気分で、声援が力になりましたし、本当にみんなを代表して、これをもらってると思ってるので、本当にあと4つ、全力で勝ちに行きたいなと思います。It was really, fun on the both side of the ball today. Really, as a representative, I'm taking this trophy, and let's get 4 more wins.
To the people of Los Angeles, Shohei, and back at home in Japan who tune in to Dodger baseball every night because of you, what do you want to say to them about their support?
LA で日本でもうドジャースベースボールを見せつけたと思いますけども、何か一つ言いたいことはありますか？本当に全員で勝ち切ったものだと思うので、さっき言ってましたが、あと4つ全力で勝ちに行きたいですし、皆さん今日は美味しいお酒を飲んでください。We won it as a team, and this is really a team effort. So I hope everybody in LA and Japan and all over the world could enjoy a really good sake.
I'm sure they will. I'm sure they will. I wasn't expecting that. And to the kids, there are kids everywhere who dream of being in your shoes. What can you tell them about being great at something, Shohei?
世界の子供たちに対して一つメッセージをお願いします。本当にこのドジャースっていう素晴らしいチーム、みんなが本当に一丸となってる試合を見て、野球面白いなって思ってくれたら嬉しいですし、それを目指して僕らも頑張りたいなと思っています。 This is really a wonderful team that I'm part of, and I hope that the kids are inspired and want to play baseball.
An historic day in this great game we love. Let's hear it one more time for the National League champion, Los Angeles Dodgers. Adam, we'll send it back to you.
The Dodgers win their 26th NL pennant, their 14th since moving to LA in 1958. And Shohei Ohtani does something we've never seen. 6 scoreless, 10 strikeouts, 3 home runs. So good, we're coming back to talk about it next on TBS The Closer. Highlights